All right, Roger Martin here, and recording a system for change by Tony Robbins and one of his trainers. How to make that transition. Let's move this down. How can we get this where we need to go?
Finger. The keystone of strategic intervention is that you can solve very big problems with very small solutions. People usually think, how am I ever going to solve this? This is huge. And we say, what's the smallest action I can take right now to turn this around? And this is why most people are doing very well. And then 5% of what they're doing is really holding them back. The person who's bright and motivated and for some reason they're late for work. Or the couple, they have passion and love and compatibility, but they fight about something that's solvable. They have the same fight over and over, right? That's the 5%. That's the 5% that's holding you back from getting a really joyful, fulfilling result. And strategies are like adjustments that remove that 5% and unlock your true potential. So a strategic interventionist has several dozen strategies to give to the client that the client then tries on and does. And that creates a transformation. Now let's look at the 5 basic moves in action in a quick 7-minute intervention that Tony carried out with a young man who had a lifelong stutter. Let's start right now.
My name is Rashad Bell. I've stuttered for as long as I can remember. My freshman year of college, one of the first courses I took was a speech class, and I froze. The grade I received was an F. I went from a full-time college student on scholarship to stocking shelves on the graveyard shift at minimum wage. The industry I'm in is basically a sales industry, and stuttering has gotten in the way of closing a deal or even to schedule an appointment. I could have a more successful career if I spoke fluently.
Tony, it would mean so much to me if you could help Rashad with his stutter. He's such an incredible man, and I know that there's so much more potential that he has. Every day is a struggle for him. His stutter holds him back a lot and makes him question himself. It's so hard because I can't do anything about it. Tony, if you could help, that would just mean so much to me and to our family.
Rashad, nice to meet you.
You too.
Well, tell me a little bit, if you would, about what's going on in your life. I understand you're having difficulty in terms of a speech impediment or stuttering.
I just know in my life I rejected it. I was ashamed of it. I drew back and was extremely introverted, but accepted.
You've gone through several stages that are perfect stages. You've gone through ashamed, you've gone through rejection, and you've gone through acceptance. You've accepted this experience. Now that you've accepted it, you're going to eliminate it.
Yeah, sign me up for that right now.
Okay, now I want you to notice what you just said. Do that exactly like you said. Yeah, sign me up for that right now. Say that again.
Yes, sign me up for that right now.
Now, you just spoke perfectly. Now, there were other parts of your speech that were perfect as well, but you just demonstrated what I'm going to show you. It's hard as human beings to figure out what makes people do what they do, but because I spent 30 years in 100 countries with more than 3.5 million people, at this point I could be an idiot and I'd have to see there's patterns that make people crazy, that make people happy, that make them fulfilled, that make them stutter. Once you know what the pattern is, it's so easy to change. Almost every unconscious pattern happened a long time ago when we make a decision about something. We model something. We model a behavior or we reject a behavior. It goes deep in our unconscious and becomes the pattern to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. When did you start stuttering? Tell me the moment. What's your earliest memory? What's your earliest memory in life? Take a moment. Your earliest memory in life.
Probably 2 years old. Got up on a Saturday watching cartoons and eating cereal. I believe it was Rocky and Bullwinkle.
And Bullwinkle, does he have a stutter? Rocky?
Wow.
And that's your earliest memory. And when Bullwinkle got himself in trouble, how did he get out of trouble when somebody was gonna like torture him or do something bad to him?
He would scream out, Rocky, right?
And he always stuttered when he said it. So I want you to do this. All patterns like that happen because you've forgotten something that happened right before that moment. And now you're locked in by the pattern. There's a decision you made or something you experienced or life was very different right before that moment. Go back to right before that moment and I want you to recapture what you forgot.
My parents were probably arguing. That happened quite often, like to the point where my dad got physical.
And you didn't know what to do, did you?
Needed clarity and assurance.
Yeah. Did you get it?
I guess I got that from a Rocky. Yes.
Because the one thing Rocky always responded to was,
Okay, help.
but not just a cry for help. A stuttering cry for help. Even a child who can't consciously understand it, who feels helpless, will find a way to intervene and stop pain going between those he loves. And one of the ways to do that is create a new problem. So you found a way to protect your mother, stop your father from beating her, and it worked. That was perfect for a 2-year-old. Not good for a 30-year-old Rashad.
Right.
So now what? Do we stay 2?
No, we don't say to. We don't say to.
You're a man now. You're 30 years old. You've lived life. You've been through all kinds of stuff. There's a warrior in you, Rashad. Feel him and where he is. Breathe him in. The warrior is the one who can face anything and storm through it. The warrior, once he sets his mind to it, he will do whatever battle is necessary for his wife, for his family, for himself. Make the sound of the warrior. The first sound that comes to you, make the sound. Make the sound of the warrior. The warrior does not stutter. Ever. Own the warrior. Tell me what the warrior says now.
The warrior says, I am free.
The warrior says.
The warrior says, I am brilliant.
That's right. The warrior says.
The warrior says that I am electric.
The warrior says.
I am awesome.
Ask the warrior, do you need to stutter anymore?
No. Wow. That was awesome.
You're awesome.
Thank you. Wow. So, what's next, Coach?
Give him a hand, Rashad, ladies and gentlemen. Rashad. Give it up for Rashad. Whoa, yeah. Just a quick question. Just a quick question. Would you just share, Rashad, what was going on before and what's changed for you?
Tony, it's just been locked up inside of me forever. I've had a speech impediment. I've stuttered my entire life. Guys, 30 years of stuttering, stammering, but that was a condition that I chose. I chose to stay there. I chose to identify as a stutterer. Because why? I was afraid of greatness. I was afraid of my light shining. But no more. Because today, I am the voice. Today, I am the warrior. Today, lives will be changed. Today, I saw this moment as a child. I knew that I would be on stage talking to countless of thousands of people. Thank you for the pain. Thank you for the obstacles, because that brought me here today to talk to you, to give you my story, to give you me. Now you got me, now get you, and do it.
All right, doing the impossible. Now, wasn't that interesting? He knew, Tony Robbins knew how to bring out in that individual the crisis and the stuttering pattern that stopped to prevent his father from beating his wife and his mother, and stuttering made them focus on the child instead of beating one another, and he created that pattern. Now, isn't it interesting? Tony Robbins touched him, 2 fingers in the chest, and told him to bring out that warrior and what that warrior would do. And he touched him on the shoulder. Now, I don't know all this stuff that goes on, but Tony did. And he knew how to do that and repeat that pattern several times and break that stuttering pattern. Wow, I mean, that is some skilled behavior, some skilled training. Anyhow, let's continue with this.
What you just saw was a transformation from a man who had lost his belief in himself, who felt he was hopeless and useless, to a man who had been set on fire by his personal sense of purpose. And you know, when Rashad found himself again, he remembered what he really was about. He tapped into his purpose in his life, and he was suddenly capable of things that he was never able to do before. Tony helped him by using the 5 moves of strategic intervention. First move, his emotional state. He thought that his stutter was something that he couldn't change. It was bringing him down, but he wasn't aware that it was his own emotional state, also something that he can change, that was really holding him back. Because when he was able to change his emotions, he was able to tap into his greater purpose and his greater power. Second move, his focus. Instead of being tight and timid and tense about stuttering and afraid to stutter and therefore afraid to speak, when he focused on what he really cared about and from his heart and put everything into it, he was able to overcome his stutter and speak fluently. That's focus. Third move, the meaning he was creating. When he discovered the real meaning that was behind his stutter, he was able to focus on a new meaning that was nourishing to him and that was help him build his future and brought him to his true purpose in life. Fourth move, his relationships. Instead of being tied to his parents in the past as a child, Rashad was able to reposition himself and associate to the real power of his love for his wife and for his family. And the fifth move, taking strategic action. Tony guided Rashad to take the strategic action to transform his life. When Tony helped him make these 5 moves of change, Rashad was able to access his true inner power, expand his possibilities, and start living his life at the level of his purpose. All his life he felt he could speak to people and help them to change their lives, and all his life he had felt kind of defective and unable to make a difference. But through Tony's coaching and the power of strategic intervention, he was able to access his true purpose and create a path of growth and contribution in his life. Now let me ask you, are you ready to discover your deeper strengths, to empower yourself in what you believe and what you want for yourself, and to learn how to create positive changes in yourself and those around you? You know, I don't know what brought us together here, but I have to say, I trust it. I trust that whatever it is in you that's driving you to help others and help yourself. In truth, I suspect you're being called to become a life coach. But here's the rub. A lot of people who feel like their life purpose is to be a life coach, or they feel like it might be a perfect fit for them, they're never shown how to use their natural born talents to become the greatest coach they can possibly be. For example, over the years, you may have heard or watched Tony Robbins successfully helping thousands of people at his live events. People with all sorts of problems, from self-esteem to parenting issues, to making that courageous career shift, to getting healthy, to overcoming lifelong limitations. Now here's what's amazing. What Tony can do to transform people is not unique. It's a scientific approach we've developed alongside Tony that we teach our students so that you can create the same transformations you're seeing here. You'll see how Chloe Madonis and Magali Pesha and I transform lives within a single session, and you'll meet some of our students who've studied the same strategies and live every day transforming the lives of their clients and their community. You'll meet successful coaches who not long ago were watching a video very much like the one you're watching now, and they were wondering, could this be possible for me? And the answer is yes. So over the next few days, you're going to be learning the most important information about how you can learn our method of coaching to create lasting change in yourself right now and in others, and along the way become a successful coach. In fact, in our very next video, you're going to meet Lindsay, who stood up with some serious life problems that seemed unsolvable. And through strategic intervention, she not only overcame her challenge, but created a much happier life and career as well. Now let me ask you, is there an area of your life where you'd like to break through to the next level? Is there someone in your life who could use a breakthrough that would demonstrate to them beyond a shadow of a doubt that life can be so much more full of joy and success and pride and love and purpose? I'd like to introduce you to the breakthrough system. Now, you know, when you have that feeling that there's got to be another way, that there has to be a better way, more in harmony with what's right, a way that feels better and that would bring more purpose and fulfillment, when you have that feeling, you're in need of what we technically call a breakthrough. A breakthrough is an experience that shows you the other side of that frustration, where instead of feeling helpless, you now see how things can be different and how life is enjoyed at the next level. You just saw how Rashad had a breakthrough, how he realized that on the other side of his limitation was another kind of life, and he broke through, and he had an experience he'll never forget and a life that will never be the same again. Well, there's a system for creating breakthroughs, and it consists of 3 basic steps. 1, see the patterns, what's happening, what's working, learn what the patterns are. 2, take strategic actions, actions that will work around your usual obstacles and bring a whole new result. And 3, experience a positive change. Experience them and magnify them. You just saw Tony guiding Rashad through these 3 steps, and you see the results. Over the coming weeks, you're going to see examples after examples of people who thought their goose was cooked, feeling helpless and frustrated, and who, by getting a breakthrough, got the vision of how their life could be. They took smart action and transformed their lives. In the breakthrough system, we're going to walk you through the exact system for bringing on those breakthroughs. You're going to learn how to get control of your emotions so that you can shift any situation within a matter of minutes by shifting yourself. You're going to learn why you and I and all people are neurologically wired to sabotage the things we want. It's not your fault. It's how we're all set up. Unless you're aware of this universal pattern, it's probably happening to you as well. Now you'll learn our number 1 key to understanding any person, even yourself. You see, anything we're trying to achieve, you're doing for a secret reason. And when someone stands up to get help from Tony, He listens to their requests, but he's really paying attention to their secret reason. When he understands the secret reason, the whole conversation snaps into alignment and he knows how to help. Tony's mastered this, I've mastered this, and you can learn it quickly as well. You'll have greater self-understanding, and from that, much greater insight and control of your own life and influence with others. You'll learn how to take smart action towards your goals and how not to get confused or distracted until you see results. And you'll see our strategy for thinking big and then planning daily action towards your biggest goals. This is a strategy you can use to help anyone you know to meet their goals as well. The breakthrough system also comes with a very cool bonus package. Now, I'm going to share with you Tony's 7 master steps for lasting change, which he uses anytime he wants to create change in himself or another person. This is how to create smart change that continues to make progress every day. You also learn about what it's like to be a life coach, which is a great way of life, where you have the satisfaction of changing people's lives every day while making a great living. So as a part of the breakthrough system, you're going to get a coaching practice map that will show you how people transition from their current type of work to become a coach, whether full-time or as an additional stream of income. I'll show you some examples of how I personally coach people and how my wife Magali coaches people, and how our students do the same kind of transformative work that saves people's careers, their relationships, their children, their finances, and their sense of well-being. And as part of the breakthrough system, you'll get a free planning session with one of our advisors who specialize in helping people in their desire to become a coach. You'll also learn about our approach to business and executive coaching, where you'll see Tony doing some executive coaching work, some business interventions, and how to help people create greater success in their careers and their finances. Now, I don't know what brought us all together right here, right now, but if what you've seen has been meaningful to you, I want to offer you something special. The breakthrough system is a $197 training, and the bonuses bring up the retail value up to $738. However, in coaching, we always reward positive action. And so for my massive action takers today, I can offer you the entire training right now for $97 total. So if you'd like to get the entire breakthrough system at this massive action taker tuition, please click below. By the way, this is an action taker bonus, meaning that it will only be available for 6 hours, after which this link will automatically expire and revert to the regular price of $197. And by the way, this program is covered by a 30-day money-back unconditional guarantee. So if you don't find it eye-opening and incredibly useful in your life, all you have to do is send us an email and you'll get a prompt, courteous refund. So this is all opportunity and no risk for you whatsoever. So if you click the button below, it will open a new page where you'll see the training details and where we can be in the breakthrough system in just a few minutes, where we'll be sharing the steps for creating the breakthrough that you want. So I hope to see you into the breakthrough system, and I'll see you in our next training session. Have a great day.